Can you speak to the role and responsibility of white educators in teaching Indigenous histories?
Yeah, you know, it's not ideal, right? So
But
the
we're in
first,
Seattle, like you said, right?
yeah. So the first and foremost thing I would say that what the responsibility of white educators and white administration, white faculty is to advocate for hiring Indigenous people to teach Indigenous history. That's first and foremost. It should always, that should be the first choice for everything. Black history and there's a white, like, no, that's not good. Because as Denzel said, I saw this cool article with Denzel Washington where he was talking about, well, could Martin Scorsese have made Malcolm X? And he said, yeah, anybody could have made him. It's not about race, it's about culture. He used the example, he said, because, in Malcolm X, we had the hot comb going. We had the hot comb going. And he said, Martin Scorsese doesn't know what a hot comb smells like when it hits the back of your hair. Like, that's a real thing. And so the context is absolutely, a white professor can teach about white history, but they're not going to have that molecular DNA connection that understands why something was there because they weren't immersed in it, because they weren't there suffering, as a result of being, their ancestors weren't suffering as a result of being kicked out of the city of Seattle. But an Indigenous, a Duwamish professor will have that connection. They'll have those stories about their family that was kicked out. And that has immense value. The context, the culture, it's not about race. Race isn't a real thing. We all know that. Race isn't a real thing, but culture is 100% a real thing. And those cultures have to be respected. They have to be deferred to because they know themselves better than people who aren't from that culture.